Uh, Being the operating head of a business is possibly one of the tougher things I've seen. I've done that for many years myself. Yes, it's not glamorous, but I'll tell you what, and at the risk of sounding sexist, it's a man's job. So I've got my friends here in a very interesting panel, right from home furnishings. We got Wellspun, we got Sleep Well, right? Sorry, Sleep Company, my mistake, Sleep Company. We got Neem Hands, this new kid on the block, not so new anymore. We got two apparel brands, the Lacoste, the French polo brand, and we got Being Human, the Bhaijan brand. All of you guys out here. So warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for being here. Uh, the operations role of any brand, right? Anish says the buck stops with us. Well, the bucks are made by us. So, I mean, if it's made by us, we can stop it for sure. So let's hear it from you guys. What do you feel are the key levers you would like to address? And I've put a few of these points down. My favorite, is cost, controlling cost. One thing we do as operating people, we're always asked to scale businesses up. Let's open more stores, let's get more point of distribution, let's increase revenue. We've got this not new, but the omnichannel, the entire complexity of managing offline, online in one world. We got in-store experiences. Customers are getting demanding. There's a lot of ask from the operations heads to kind of keep upping the ante in terms of the store experiences. And the usual productivity, return management, and yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to go straight to you, Mr. Neemhands, Amar. Tell me which of these are the ones which keep you awake at night?
Second, as you mentioned that we are a new kid on the block, so we have to be serving the consumers all the time in terms of we are living in the world of quick commerce. So being omni-channel is something very, very important for us. So what we do is when we started our brand, we were purely on brand.com, that is on Neemans.com. So we had to just serve the Neemans.com customers. Then we went on to marketplaces, started fulfilling Mintras, Amazons, Flipkarts of the world, then stores. So all we do is how fast we can deliver the consumers, being omni-channel present. Let's say somebody's ordering online, if we can get it fulfilled via store, that's a better option. So we always keep on planning the inventory because ultimately in retail, they keep saying that you need to have maybe a 150-day inventory or 120-day inventory or 180-day inventory. That discussion goes on and on. So, but we have to plan our cash flows and ensure that we solve the inventory as a problem and don't hang on with a lot of inventory. So being omni-channel present with minimum inventory is something which we look at. That's the problem I go after, always.
So how much of omni-channel management is genuine intelligence and how much is artificial?
See, again, we live in the world of data, so probably we always are hooked up on our Power BI dashboards or Tableau dashboards, always keep looking at what is selling and where is it selling from and how do we order inventory better and how can we optimize in certain warehouses that particular inventory. So I think data is the key where we look very, very deeply on a day-to-day basis and we keep forecasting that, okay, this particular product or these particular SKUs are doing well for us from these particular pin codes and this particular warehouse should have maximum inventory. So everything I believe is data. So we eat, sleep, repeat, only data. So we look at more at data. In the earlier days when we were in 2018, 19, 20, just on our website, so it was more of a gut-based decision. But now being 6 years in the industry, it's all about data. And doing short surveys with consumers, trying to understand what they like and whatever our new launches are, whether they like it or not, and how come we should order minimum inventory and then scale it up. So it's all about optimizing the inventory and maintaining the healthy cash flow. That's something which we look at on a day-to-day basis. And my job is fairly difficult to ensure that the inventory is not piling on. So I keep sitting with my sales team telling that this inventory is piling on and this will add a lot of cash flow challenges as well. So just not about CEO, I'm also the co-founder of the company. So I just can't leave away saying that, that's not my job. But I have to look at all departments. So ultimately, it's optimization of cost and inventory is something which helps me do the omni-channel part.
So that's a pretty important part for being excellent at retail is to ensure that money is well spent and you kind of are constantly getting ROC on your deployment of cash. So apart from Omni, what are the cost ideas apart from inventory at this point in time? Who wants to take up the fact on costs? I mean, cost is a penny saved is a penny earned. I see somebody there smiling. Come on, Abhishek, out with it.
Okay, hi everyone, good evening. My name is Abhishek, I represent Lacoste. So cost is something which is like kind of a very, very important factor, whether you run a mid-price segment brand, whether you run a high-price segment brand. End of the day, as in how much money you are really saving for the company is something that you really need to make. So cost, I think, is an important or a very important factor. So I'll just try and explain this with the example of what we had experienced. So at a stage when we were opening very few number of doors in India, there were some cost element which we were really not able to negotiate with the suppliers, with the vendors, is because our volumes are less. But when you start increasing your volumes, probably your might is a little more where you can go and you can negotiate the prices better. And when you start negotiating prices better, it doesn't mean you will compromise on the quality of the product that you are getting. So be it anything or everything in the hierarchy, it needs to be maintained at the same level and the cost needs to go down. However, in last few years, we all know that with the help of inflation or whatever that we said, nothing has gone down except our salaries. So this is something that we need to understand. And in a situation where everything is going up and up, be it the raw material or be it the price of the petroleum, etc., reducing cost is one of the biggest challenge these days we are facing without compromising on quality. So for that, what is that you need? A long-term plan as what we are doing. I kind of trust between you and your supplier as my company is there. They are going to continue to give me the business that I want to do. And third and the most important thing is trust. That whatever that I am doing, I will be getting the fair price of whatever my work I done. If they, at one point of time, if your supplier is not making money, they aren't really your supplier. They don't have any interest to work with you also. So I think trust is one factor and the scalability and the volume are the two points where we can really put to reduce on the cost is what my understanding.
So thanks so much. Costs. So costs are clearly a demon in the business, but that's a necessary evil. Moving from cost to a point you've made on scalability, I want to come to you. You are sleeping well at night, I hope, with all your scale. So how does scale work for your kind of business model?
I think we are one company
You
which
must tell everybody what you do for a second.
So I'm Karan, I'm the CEO at the Sleep Company. So the Sleep Company is a new age, new kid on the block in the mattress world. We are a 5-year-old company, but we are already the 4th largest in terms of sales in the country, in terms of mattress sales, in organized mattress sales. So we come up with a proprietary product, which is our own patent, which we add in all mattresses, which makes it better to sleep. And we have been working on building this brand throughout. We got some tailwinds during COVID. We were an online brand. And that's a story of scale, right? We started online and we saw that the people are liking the product. People are liking and talking that they should buy it more. And we got a lot of feedbacks that they want to experience the product. Because category is as such. You don't want to buy a 30,000 product without experiencing it. So we kept on getting a lot of calls that I want to try your product, but I don't know whether it is good or bad. So we run a full-fledged 100 nights trial program where you can try the product and you can give it back within 100 nights if you don't like it. No questions asked.
100 nights?
100 nights.
Wow.
So I have a lot of consumers who come to me on 99th day and say, I didn't like it. I want to return it. And we generally take it back. But
what percentage would that be?
I think we are only at 3% returns.
That's
Out of 3%, almost 30% of 3%, 1% is coming between 90th and 100th day. We just want to try it and give it back, which is okay, which is part of the business, right? The good piece is the confidence always has been that this 3% return was when we were 100 CR. This 3% return is when we are now almost 5x of that business. We started online. Online people liked the product, wanted to try it more. And we thought that we should open a store. And we went to the industry, we went to the market, thought what kind of store we should open. And this industry doesn't work on experience centers. Industry works on general trade. We go and met almost 100 distributors and dealers. The only question asked to us was, discount kitna doge? Credit kitna doge? That's it. No one is talking consumer ko experience kaisa milega. No one is talking how good is your product. And that made us clear that this is not what we want to build. We will give a great product at the pricing which we want to give, and we will give a great experience. So we opened our first experience center, I still remember, in June 2022 to try out a market.
Which city?
That's in Bangalore, Kondapur, Kormangla store. And the best cocoa in the country for any brand was doing around 15 lakhs of sales. We said, we'll try to do better than, we'll try to target 20 lakhs of sale. In second month, we did 1 crore of sale from that store. So that just gave us confidence that we should open more stores. People are willing to spend the money, try the product, and are waiting to try the product. And since then, we have not stopped. I remember May 23, we had 20 stores. And 2 days ago, I opened my 148th store. And this year, we're going to cross 200. 148th.
Wow.
So in 2 years, we open a store every 5th day. Every 5 days, we keep on opening a store. None of my stores make losses. We make money at every store. I think someone was telling in last panel, the goal is the store should become profitable in 12 months. We give our teams the goal, the store should make money from month 1. If we cannot make money on month 1, I cannot get my payback in 6 months. It's not a store which we want to open.
So in 148 stores, you're getting a payback under 6 months.
6 to 8 months.
That's fantastic. I mean,
so we just keep on opening stores. People are liking the product. In a city like Bangalore, you can buy a sleep company product at a store within 15 minutes at any place. So that's how the scale has come to us in last 2 years. And we have realized that, as Amar said, Omni is the way. We don't think retail, despite having so much business from retail. We think only Omni. We believe that same product, same pricing, same discounting should be available to consumer at all touch points. We are at marketplaces, we are at quick commerce sites, we are at our own stores, we have our own website. But you'll find the same product, same pricing, same offers throughout the year, no changes, same experience, same delivery experience. And at scale, we just want to better it every single day.
fantastic. So, you know, one of the finest human beings I know, Vivek, he's also the chief operating officer of a brand called Being Human. Being Human, of course, needs no introduction. So I'm going to come to you, Vivek, and I want to ask you, we spoke about Omni, we spoke about costs. I have this constant urge to ask this question of others, because when I came to this business, it was always offline to online. And here I've got two panelists here who have gone from online to offline. How's your journey been?
So, hi, thank you for calling me a good human being. Journey has been, by default, I started my career at a point in time when there was no online. As I see today, it's gotten to a place where I've sort of started to avoid using term online and offline. I genuinely believe commerce started to change in 2013, 2014. The last change in commerce was in late 90s when people started to open experience stores, brand stores. Next change is 2013 onwards, where at least in India, the consumers started to see the expansion and availability of products through websites and then apps and so on and so forth. And today we talk about Omni. I call it new commerce. Commerce is reinvented. I don't think there's a place where you say it's offline business or there's an online business. It's just business, and there are various methods of reaching the consumer and making a product available, right? And this has got a little bit of a link to the cost that Abhishek also spoke about. The fact is that as somebody who brings in the bucks, either I look at the cost or I look at the resultant margin. The kind of businesses that you and I operate, it's multi-channel, right? So at a point in time, I can still manage my overall business cash and margin by balancing the mix of channels. So there are channels which are variable. cost channels. There are channels which are fixed cost channels. Everybody is not as lucky, and Beyond Food is the first time I have gotten to know today that there is a business in retail that gets your payback in
6 months.
6 to 8 months. I mean, the only other business I have known that gives you 6 months payback is food.
Alcohol. Just kidding.
So now, if in clothing, typically the payback goes. I mean, if you're good, year and a half. Good to brilliant, you're a year and a half.
2 years, yeah.
You're decent, it's about 2.5 years, and then you really eventually end up making money, right? So, in today's date, we talk about experience. Consumer is very demanding in all spaces. Omni is not, and is something that I can choose to do or not do. I have to be available. I have to have endless aisles. I have to have buy online and pick it up at store, and buy online and return at store. All those journeys have to be in place, which means that, all of us at various stages of journey are building our largest store, which is online, which is your website or your app. Your largest store is not your biggest flagship. Your largest store is not a 10,000 square feet store that has got, about 2,000 options, 3,000 options. Your largest store is a store that carries maybe 15,000 options of
Correct.
various seasons of merchandise that you have created, right? So if you ask me frankly, that's the new commerce. There is nothing which is starting online and getting to offline, or starting offline and getting to online. That's the commerce now. Sooner we accept it,
Better for us.
better for us. Our strategies kind of get channelized in that direction. In today's date, if you ask me frankly, about 3 years back, we used to talk about how many stores will I open in a year, right? In today's date, the metric is changing from how many stores to how many stores which are going to drive experience, how many stores which are going to get you to markets which you would otherwise not have gotten into through other channels, and how many consumers you're going to acquire through your digital commerce. That's become if you ask me, as a brand which operates across multiple channels, digital is the first level of the funnel today. Whether it is in engagement, whether it is in consumption, whether it is in building awareness, right? So if I were to put one single line answer, there's no starting from one end and getting to the other. It is a line in the middle. All of us are trying to align to that.
So essentially, we are hearing more and more that the brands or products need to go where the consumer is. So the consumer is sitting online on his bed and ordering for Being Human, Lacoste, or any other brand from Neemhan's. We are actually going to the consumer. And this whole journey of going to the consumer, it looks very intuitive. Like when you open your phone, if you're using Amazon, Blinkit, Zepto, or whatever, it looks extremely simple, right? I place an order, I make the payment, and the product lands up. I want some of you to decode and demystify this for the larger audience, that it's not that simple, isn't it? It's not that simple as it looks to the guy on the interface that, hey, I just placed an order. There are wheels within wheels at the back end. These gentlemen have lost hair and sleep and grade to make that journey possible. So if anyone, I think I'm going to you, Jay. You look like you're balanced with your yin yang. To tell us more about how to decode and demystify for the audience all the effort at the back end to make it so simple for the consumer.
So in our company, we call that in QCom's time, you cannot work on the, delivery ho jayega, material ban jayega, or service ho jayega. So we are present omni in terms of B2B, B2C, D2C, and across all the hospitality channels. So today the challenge is consumer, whether it is B2B or B2C, they are expecting time, speed, and delivery. Quality, price given. There is no argumented. So in terms of cutting costs, we discussed that cutting cost cannot come on the quality of the product. Cutting cost cannot happen that, okay, I need to send by air, can I send by surface? So these things are given. In those scenarios, scaling it up, availability. So another challenge which we see every day, the customer reaches to a retail store. Earlier we have seen this, that they compare price for TV, fridge, or mobile. today they see check price for towel or bedsheet also, and we keep on getting screenshots that at Amazon or Myntra, this was the price, at your retail store, this was the price. So managing that MOP across all the channels becomes difficult. And thanks to Google Lens search, where you take the photo, you search, and you get where all it is selling. So in all these things, we try to maintain that balance, but yeah, still here and there it goes.
I see these smiling faces. I tell you, I want to get everyone to answer in their point. Abhishek, you're next. How does it go for you?
Okay, so one thing that we are very sure, we have a price parity across all channels. So you buy from our store or you buy from any marketplace to e-commerce, you're going to get the same price. That is something, that's the trust that I have to build for my customer, that they are not being cheated. I'll just give you an example and you'll be laughing on this. If you pay your house tax on time, you pay full. If you delay, you get 25% discount from Government of India. Right? So it's not that I want to give this to our customer. Whether you pay on time or you come during after time, you get the same price. But I'll tell you, when it comes to cost, when it comes to expectation of the customer, they want the same expectation to be delivered. So for example, I deliver my own product in a certain way, in a certain box when you buy from my own website. And when you are buying it from Myntra, they want the same experience to be delivered. Now, as company, I can say that I am going to pay some extra bucks in the way I'm delivering the product, because the moment you put a product in a box, the volume goes up. So the cost of the delivery is higher. Whereas when you take it out from the box, the volume goes down, the actual weight goes down. So now we need to really explain this to marketplaces or to others as how you should be delivering your product is very important also. So when it comes to kind of saving on cost, it's not that you take out the product and start shipping the product without the box. You can save the cost and without compromising experience. I'll just give you an example of this. If you increase your sell-throughs, that's also cost saving. If you increase your, I would say, if in case...
Lower discounts.
Yeah. So if in case you save on yarn, that's also the cost. If you increase your marker efficiency, that's also the cost saving. So we need to understand what all factors we are saving cost, but without compromising anything on the customer experience. And the most important, price parity, I think, is the key. This way, as in world is very small, everything is there in the 6-inch screen that we see. So that way, that experience we are keeping everywhere same.
So Amar, you've done the reverse, right? You went online first. From online, you went to offline. And now you're trying to go national. Just give them an understanding on how are you wearing multiple hats to engineer your product, your service, your markdown, anything on the operations front you want to share with us?
See, again, when it comes to being online or offline, the major challenge when we face on online, it's just not about delivery, it's also about the returns which come in. And specifically in the category which we are, returns is fairly high. I'll give you a stat. Over the marketplaces, the footwear category in itself is around 38 to 40% return. People in India don't know their footwear sizes. They say that Bata ke hum 7 number pehante hain. So
guys, 30-40% on the right and 3% on the left. So sleeping is easier than walking. Go on.
Yeah. So the 40% is a category return in the marketplaces. So how do we solve that particular problem was a big challenge for us. And for we, being a young brand, we wanted to solve that as a problem. So what we did is we started very early and we said we will do first brand.com. That means we'll build our own community first. We will focus on crafting the better experience as personalized as possible and give a lot of experience on the sizing piece. There are so many AI tools which do that piece for us and also work very closely with the manufacturers. So what we have done is over our website, we are just 10% return, and which is by far the best in the industry in the last 6 to 7 years. Similarly, on marketplaces, we are around 27 to 28% return. So when I say return, being 27, 28%, there is a lot goes back in working with suppliers to ensure that the sizing is uniform. So India in itself, the manufacturing is still not, I say, structured industry as such. specifically footwear or maybe apparel also. Every time you order, maybe you will notice that your sizing, what you're saying, what you have ordered from Being Human or some other company also, you might be wearing large, you might get an XL in some brands. So in India, manufacturing is still not very, very structured. So what we have done is we sit with suppliers because that increase in our cost again, because that comes back to our warehouse again. It may be not in a good category, so it may not be in a good shape again. We have to do the refurbishment part,
And there's a cost attached to
refurbishment
it.
part. That again will involve cost. So all in all, returns is a big, big challenge for us. And being omni-channel present and also being frugal in the cost management. That is something, all three things in all is I called experience. And as rightly mentioned by my friends, whatever it is, the TAT should not impact. Because ultimately, whether you're sending by a surface or you're sending by a flight, it is that the consumer gets the delivery faster. And he gets the same product what is ordered in good shape. So that is something which we keep solving on a day-to-day basis, whether it's return, whether it's looking at TATs, whether it's looking at doing the same day delivery or the next day delivery, what are the costs. So day-to-day, data plays a very vital role in that.
So most of the panelists here, except for a couple, are running omni-channels, running retail. The old format was the wholesale format. And I've got Being Human here. I'm assuming Lacoste as well does multi-brands. Not too much, very few. Wellspun does multi-brand, of course. So I want to hear from the both of you. How is this channel management? So I was talking to him some time back. He was mentioning that I have to deliver a certain profitability as per my business plan, and I keep reworking my channel mix. So I understand channel mix. I want you to explain it in your words, Vivek. What is channel mix? How do you optimize by working on channel mix?
So there are, in the P&L there are two margins, right, that really matter. The first one is your gross margin. The second one is your contribution margin. The channels that will give you the highest gross margins will not give you the same level of contribution margin, because then you have a lot of fixed costs, those channels. And then there are channels that don't give you as high a gross margin, but contribution margin is much higher, because these are channels where you either operate on variable cost, your SellX is completely variable, or you operate with a certain level of operational leverage already kicked in. At every point in time, while you may start the year with a certain kind of business plan and a certain kind of channel mix, there is a certain amount of variability in our business. So you manufacture ahead of you sell, right? So there's a certain part of the order that you have, which is from multi-brands and large format stores and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, that product is yours. The sellout of that is your responsibility. If somebody is not going to be able to sell it as much, they may not return as much, but they'll not be able to buy more from you in future, right? So the sellout must happen. And the variability on sellout is what leads you to look at your channel mix at a quarter level, every quarter, and try and see is there an opportunity to optimize something so that you can have a better contribution margin than you had planned. See, beyond the point, cutting cost will send your business in a death spiral, right? Because there's no end. There's no end to cutting cost. Get it to a level of a scale where you know that, okay, I can pay for it. My cash flow is good enough to pay for it. I have enough margin accrued in my P&L so that the P&L looks in line with what I envisaged it to be. And then go for the operational leverage in places where you can get additional revenue without increasing your cost. So that's exactly what is a practically quarter or sometimes month-on-month play for each one of us, I'm sure. The other piece, and we've been talking about omnichannel, and one of the things that you'd see, and I'm sure not as much Abhishek, but you would be doing that in your business as well, that is what is made specially for online is made specially for online, and that product is not available in wholesale as a channel, because that's one thing where you can't bring price parity, right?
Correct.
Because business model doesn't allow you to do that. Margin
That's
model.
fast changing. I mean,
yeah,
I
it's-
see that's,
yeah.
I think we're
the
all
margin
moving
models
towards
don't allow
the,
you. Yeah,
the
absolutely.
likes of what
So
Lacoste
I
is doing.
can have a price parity between my store and my brand.com and maybe Myntra on the products that is live in all these three places. But I cannot manage the price parity along with on the same product with multi-brand outlets, because the entire change implementation itself is going to throw you off so much behind in time that the pricing online would have changed, right?
So
So,
pricing becomes the critical differentiator for you while managing channels, or is it productivity? What would you pay more?
we begin at productivity.
Productivity.
Productivity. See, price is just one of the metrics. Productivity is what will bring sanity and reality in the business. Mera price could be anything, but if a certain channel is not productive, it is of no use, right? Unless it is something that I'm building for next 5 years and I say that it's fine, I'm going to burn. But the reality is that
I don't think, I think as operating people, we are allowed to burn too much, but yeah, I'm going to go to you. Jay, tell us about how do you manage your multiple channels?
So, yeah, challenges remain same everywhere, because the more you try to control the price parity and all, then it hits back on the channel. Every channel has got different nuances. So in MBO, the biggest problem today is they don't want any brand to,
Second,
grow.
I think Amar is going to leave. He's got a flight to catch, so thank you so much for being Amar, and wish you all
Thanks
the
for
best.
having me here. Sorry I had to leave. I have a flight at 6. So can't take the risk of rescheduling it now.
Safe travels. See you. Come. Yes, sir. You were saying.
Yeah. So, so we were at MBO. So MBOs, by nature, they don't want any brand to grow more than their signboard. So they keep on pushing on the price, keep on pushing on the productivity. Today they'll be loyal to you. Tomorrow they'll be loyal to some other brand, because they want to retain their customer to them, not to the brand. So that is the biggest problem in maintaining price parity between MBOs and EBOs. Another problem which comes in terms of maintaining balance between these brands, these channels, is the way you said, especially made for e-com, because without that it cannot work today in the e-com world, because customer comes and then first filter they put is discount, or they do the sorting. In that case, a lot of D2C brands or a lot of unbranded or private labels for the e-com itself, those goes on the high ranking. So to maintain that balance, we also try to get into some exclusive ranges with them, which will not disturb our regular MBO or EBO market. So that way we try to maintain. But this remains one of the biggest channels, especially on the big days, when you have sale period coming in, USS coming in, Diwali coming in. But we send mails, we call to all the camps there, but by the time they correct it, the damage already happened.
So, Mike, other question to you is 148. Sorry, please.
Can I just add a point? What Vivek said and what say. When you start manufacturing something which is for exclusive online, etc., you reduce the price. Okay. Are you actually doing justice to your customer? Because if you sell more and more lower price point, these range, it is actually hitting your gross margin at the bottom. So why, if in case a certain contribution of these products goes up, it is hitting your profitability. So is it the right strategy that we should be really getting into this exclusive online?
Yeah. So what happens? We try to keep MOP same. So what e-com requires today is more of inflated MRP, where they can show customer that they are getting discount.
The truth is coming out, gentlemen and ladies, on MRP inflations. Be careful and hear me carefully. Please go on, sir.
So that's one ask which comes regularly. Another thing which comes is cause their margins in terms of channel margins are much lesser than any of the GT margins. So they play with that margin. They keep the prices a little lower than the market for similar product.
But I think
I have a point of view there.
Okay.
So, okay. I would make a blasphemous statement. The foundation of e-commerce in India was laid wrong. It was laid on discount, right? It's happened. It's a reality. Unfortunately, the foundation of SMU also got laid on that initially. But if you work with the portals and look for intelligence, there's enough intelligence available that helps you build products that is differentiated. It's not about a price alone. So the larger, the efficiency or productivity of that channel flows in because you're making a product which is suitable to the needs of their consumer and your brand. So once you get that piece right, the conflict is going to disappear in some time. It's going to be there for a while. I mean, and this sometime nobody can guess, and it won't be a very, very short span of time. But the reality is that this is going to stack up, it's going to balance itself out, so long as we are able to differentiate the products, not just by, those small changes. I mean products which is required. So I'll give you a very simple example. In wholesale today, if I wanted to sell in multi-brand outlets, if I wanted to sell a lot of oversized t-shirts, man, I'm not going to be able to succeed as much. But if I wanted to do the same product and sell it online today, I may have a better success rate there. And that's something, I'm saying I may have, and that's something that we have seen in our data, right? So if I customize the product for that consumer, so long as my focus is on the consumer, I think all these price and margin conversations are going to go away.
Can I add on to him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I completely echo him, right? We are sleep company. We are supposed to sell sleep. We're supposed to sell mattresses. But after launching mattresses, we have been trying to build a brand which sells comfort and technology. So now we sell mattresses, office chairs, reclining beds, reclining sofas, and recently we launched height adjustable desks. And the biggest dilemma and question we asked all of us at team was, who will buy a desk from a sleep company? Why will someone dare to buy a desk from a sleep company? And is there a market for height adjustable desks? But a lot of marketplace data showed us that a lot of people search for it. And we launched it. We launched it without launching in stores. Because stores, we had to create space, we have to think through how to put up a category for which stores is not designed. We launched that desk, and I was sharing with Amar earlier that it's a nightmare for me because I'm not able to manage the demand. It's going stocked out every single time my product is getting ready.
I'm very envious of your business model, my friend. You
Right.
scale stores in 2 years. You're stocked out and you're best-selling new products. I mean, this is a case study, people. You must
Because-
contact him post the meeting.
Because Abhita, we are thinking all consumer first.
And 6-month payback. Salute. Go ahead, sorry, I interrupted
Because
you.
we're just thinking consumer first. We are not thinking which category will sell where. We are thinking what consumer is looking for and where he wants to buy. Like, why should a sleep company product be available on quick commerce? But sleep company is not selling only mattresses. So quick commerce is filled with my pillows and my cushion ranges, and people are ready to get that cushion and pillow delivered to them in 15 minutes. Now, that exactly is what we want to do, have all product range available everywhere, but drive the growth as per the channel. If something sells somewhere, sell it there, but have it available everywhere. And that makes sure that I stay true to my omni philosophy, and I'm solving for the consumer. Be it demand, be it supply, be it delivery timeline, be it cost, be it gross margins, everything is planned accordingly. Today, my chairs is not my biggest category at my stores. Amazon is my biggest channel for chairs. So I optimize my chair launches as per what Amazon will sell,
Interesting.
not what store will sell.
Interesting. So there's one thing I want to ask all of you, and I'm going to start again with Vivek and then go this way. What's that one technology tool in the last 10 years which you have implemented in your businesses, which you think has either helped you save on certain manpower costs or save man hours, and to you are probably the best thing that happened to you since an iPhone?
I'll give you two.
Please.
So across multiple organizations, order management system, which is kind of help me optimize inventory and store time both, which is online to store orders and hence delivery. So that entire piece. And that I've seen across 3 organizations in my career, at Arvind, at Raymond, and now at Being Human. Second one is something that we implemented about a year back in Being Human, and that was based on the good old principle of Ellie Goldratt, TOC. And I saw my
So
base
TOC
stock,
is theory of constraints for those who might have
theory of
missed it.
constraints. It just helped me optimize inventory on floor, maximize availability of stock in my warehouse, reduced my base stock, and increased my sell-through. And reduction of base stock and increase of sell-through is again cost optimization and margin
That's
maximization.
the best cost saving I've heard of.
These are the 2.
You, sir.
I think we are launching something new every single
I know,
day.
you're excused.
So
But you're too good for
just
us.
let me share one thing. We install products as well. We sell a chair, sell a bed, sell a sofa. So we have to offer installations. And it's a tough job because we are selling in 20,000 pin codes. It goes there and then you have to get an installer to install it at the consumer place. So last year, our NPS at installation used to be like 40%. We said this can't survive. We decided to bring it in-house. Today, we got it in-house. Now, in-house installation team is operating at 1/3 the cost of what was outsourced installation cost. And my NPS is 90% month on month.
Fantastic.
And now, I have just given an app to all my installers, which we just launched. They are getting jobs. Consumer is like urban company. And we're running a small urban company inside Sleep Company, where the consumer knows who is my installer, when is going to come. My installer knows these are my jobs tomorrow, which I need to do. I'm optimizing their routes. I'm optimizing my costs. I'm optimizing that I do everything within TAT. And I'm
So
able
in
to
Bangalore, you're the first insourcer, not the outsourcer.
insourcing. Yes, that was the one. And then bringing a layer of technology over and above that so that I can optimize the cost further.
Interesting. Yes, sir.
Okay, so at our level, I think I'll divide it into 3 buckets. So OMS and WMS, in order to get the speed and accuracy to deliver the product, is what we invested. CRM we invested in order to listen to the customer, post-purchase, pre-purchase, purchase history. So this is one thing that we want to really focus on, is because we have a huge repeat client base, and that's very important for us, that we keep a track of everything. So that's the third we invested. And we also invested big time on our own website. So e-commerce is something which is kind of delivering huge for us. And for obvious reason, because real estate is scarce. It's not available pan-India to the quality that we want, so that we can go and open store. So this last year, we invested huge in our own website, and we upgraded to the best of technology, the entire website to best of technology. And that website today is my #1 store in India in terms of overall sale. One myth that I want to kind of say here is e-commerce, doing business on e-commerce is not cheap. So those who really say, between online and offline, you would make a lot of money when you do business online, it's a myth. It's a big myth. So these are the 4 things that we did in last 1 year. And in fact, we have a huge pipeline where we are upgrading with the help of technology a few things more, so that we can cater to our customer in a better way.
So in last 2 years, we used a recommendation tool run by AI, because in GT we serve around 20,000 outlets, out of which 10,000 gets billed actively. So this becomes very difficult for a PSR to showcase the entire catalog to the retailer or talk to them, because retailer doesn't give much time, and the PSR also need to complete their PJP. So they have got a tool which shows that in this vicinity there are 20 stores, what all they are buying, which product this store is not buying, what is new in your catalog which will suit to this particular profile. So that tool takes demographics, our sales history, and other competition data from web crawling, and showcase that PSR to push initially these 10, 20 items. So the rates are very, very high in terms of getting order from every outlet they visit. So that is helping us in scaling, because the time they need not to see the Excel sheets every day. They need not to carry printouts. So that is helping us.
So, gentlemen, as I conclude the session, just want to share, and I'll probably recap the learnings I've had today. Cost efficiency is not necessarily bringing down the cost of your product or your service. It's not about constantly going and fighting with your malls or your partners for margins. It's about finding solutions with these intelligent minds are finding every day, where they're kind of eradicating inefficiency in the business, trying to bring in technology and tools to reduce costs which are unnecessary for their business. The fact that they are constantly looking over new age markets, about how they're changing their mindset from online, offline to an omni journey, how they're thinking consumer first, how they're still managing the model of multi-channels, multi-products, multi-discounts, multi-seasons. Yeah, so these guys do a great job, and I just want to thank all of you for being here and sharing your insights, and wish you the very best.